Guys, I hope you all are fine. Today I want to teach you about in my last video I have taught about you how to install the Kubernetes cluster in your environment, local environment. Now we have to deep dive about the more about the Kubernetes. So in this lecture I will teach you the Kubernetes architecture. So what is the main architecture will be the Kubernetes cluster, or what are the main components are here. So we will discuss main component overall, but not too much detail. We will go on the detail one by one. But this is the about the architecture, means we will look about the main components not too much thoroughly, but little bit more, because it's a part of the Kubernetes cluster. So what is the main architecture of the Kubernetes? So we will go one by one. Now we it's means why we use the Kubernetes here, just to deploy the your application. And a thing should be in the form of, should be to manage your application. We want to use it to manage your application. If anything goes down or need to be upgraded, so a thing should be into your app, who will controlling your app and seeing all the things related to your application, and upgrade and delete or something like that. If anything occurs, need to be done. So your a thing to be about the Kubernetes. So Kubernetes manage all the things for us. The purpose of Kubernetes is to host the application in the form of container and manage them as well as in the automatic fashion. So means you need to be your application should be automated more about it, and you have to be concerned to means about your application, not worry about too much. So we can also deploy the instance of your container in the form of your application, should be in the form of container, because we are talking about here Kubernetes. So Kubernetes using behind the scene of containers. So you can launch as much as container as per your demand, as per your possibilities. So we can do it ourselves and do the more about it. So now we will see about the uh, things, how can we relate the Kubernetes architecture. Let's suppose we have two ships here. We will consider here two ships. One is the cargo ship, means where you have load your containers in it. So we just say this is a container ship where you have loading this ship. Another cargo ship you have like that, this one. So these are the cargo ships. So let me just write it about the cargo ship. And they have means to they have their containers. If some containers is down, so who will be managing, who will be controlling all this thing if something is goes down. So your is the cargo ship captain will be do on behalf of it. But it's something means if we have the lots of cargo ships here in the terms of means lots of ships are there. So if we have something in the form of management of these cargo ships. So we have the in Kubernetes, we can do it by the the help of a, sh- a long ship who controlling all the ship from the centralized, means we will controlling all the cargo ships from here. Means this is our controller, controller ship. We can see it, we can see this, can say this is our controller, controller ship. We can use it. So this is our cargo ship, and this is our controller ship. So all the ships are can be controlled from your from the single end, means your master, means your one ship. So you, if you have thousands of cargo ships, so we can manage all the things from the centralized, means from the center. So here is the cargo ships. We can assume it, it's a cargo ship. We can say it's our worker node. And the another one means your control manager, or like that controllership should be called is master node. So you can see this like that. We have the master node here, and in master node we have multiples worker node in terms of your instance where you have deployed your containers. As well as we can deploy the containers of the master ship. We will go in a deep dive in the master control. Let's see what main components are in the master node, and what main components are in the worker node should be. So we will go one by one, and just not too much deep dive, we will go for the very little bit one. So first of all, we will look about the our master node. So what we have in our master node, let me drive it. So first of all, we have means what are the responsibilities of the master node. We in master node we can plan the means like plan the shape in what should be the in shape, in then identify the resources, what of the resources we need it here. I am maintaining the ship. We can we can say we want it to maintain the ship as well, or as well as our worker node. Or we also responsible means a master node will be also responsible to communicate your communication means should be needed here. We can communicate with your worker node as well. So how can we go and worker node and talk to them, and what things need to be done. Many other things we have been there. So let's see. First component in the mastership we are going to discuss, this is that is HCD. This is the your main component of master ship, master controller, master node. We can say it. Now I will be use the terms of master node and worker node, so it will be very simplified for you as well. So in HCD, what things are comes here? It's means what time of load of your container, means anything need to be a down, up, upgrade, in anything's happen in your cluster. So all the things are be stored in the HCD component. So it's a main component of your master node. So all the things, all the changes are be changes in the cluster will be written in the etcd component in the form of key value pair, key value format, you can say it. So all the things are to be stored in the HCD, means anything communication, anything means what nodes is up and down, what containers is crash, what containers is going to be upgrade, what containers new containers have been launched. So all the things are be stored in the HCD. So after that, we are going to be discuss our second main component, that is scheduler, scheduler, you can say it. Means means if any things need to be means deploy in the form of a container, so this thing be happen by scheduler. So the scheduler means identify the ship, means your worker node, your the size of the size, capacity, and other condition also means calculate by the scheduler if something need to be deployed in the cluster. So if any container need to be deployed in the cluster, so scheduler will be the responsible to deploy that one, and it also calculate all the things in terms of size, memory, all the things he will it will be responsible to check all the things. Then it will be goes to means a certain instruction to the API, and API that goes to the server and contain worker node, and it will be deployed on the particular worker node. So it's also select the right nodes to means plan or to deploy the container, and also look about the means policy of the node as well. Means it should be means related to the tense and toleration and node affinity rules. So this is the main work of the scheduler, means to deploy the container on the node, on the worker node. Okay, so if any things need to be deployed in the form of container in the one node, in the cluster node, so scheduler will be the schedule the container on the particular node after the checking the size and memory in the cluster. Means what type of your container size is, what is the memory, what is the CPU is it. So it scheduler will calculate these things, and then it will be instructed to the worker node to deploy this container in your node. So this is the, so now this is means if anything goes to be deploy in the container form on the node, so the scheduler will be the responsible to schedule the node on the container on the node. So it's also means I have already told you to means check the policy of tense and toleration, and node affinity rules is also means checking these things on before to deploy the container on the node. Let's move on to the third part, which is the which is also a main component of the Kubernetes cluster, which is the controllers here. Means what type of controllers are there here in the Kubernetes. So it's also means handling the traffic of the worker node or the your master node. It also controlling and deal with the any things need to be damage or damage or anything comes issue in terms of control in terms of node. So a controller is something means controlling these things. So in controller we have we have means it's also responsible if container if any worker node have the container, means your application is running, so the container have been destroyed. So it's also check why it's destroyed and what happens in it, so it will be should be up again. So it's also managing these thing in it's also means communication also part part a role of communication between the uh, worker node and the master node. It's also means doing some part of communication stuff between the, let me write it here, communication part, playing a communication part between worker node and master node. So we can it also means responsible these things. So in controller we have the so we have means a node controller here. First of all, in node controller we have means take care about the nodes. If anything take care about the node, if any nodes is damaged or need to be means cordon like this, if you need to be upgrade your cluster, so you do that one. So it also take care about your nodes. If something is issue with your node, so it will be controlling by them, and it also responsible for the new nodes as well. It's also responsible for the new nodes as well. If some new node comes under the tree of your cluster, so it's also managing these things and properly add in your cluster, and also handle the situation when the node is unavailable. Means if also, if your node has been down or not be available, so node controller handle this situation as well. So this is the main three part of the node controller, and now let's move to the another controller, which is also a very main controller of the Kubernetes cluster, which is the replication controller. So what is the main responsibilities of the replication controller in the Kubernetes? So we have the replica set as well. Means when we are when we are talking about in the deployment. So what is the deployment we will come across after some time? What is the deployment? I will go for this as well. So what is the replication control? We have the in the deployment we have the replica set. Okay, and replication controller is means to replica of your application. It's something like that. If your app is having a load of 3 container, so if something is goes down, means is come up with the two, so replication controller to responsible to means to a container for the application, it should be required is 3, so but now is 2, so replication automatically launch one more port here, so it will become again 3. So your container, your application should be uh, required and desired should be 3, so it's done by replication controller. So it's also means make sure the desired number of containers should be running in the worker node. So this is the means main responsibilities of the replication controller. So let's move, and now we can go on the very important uh, component, which is the Kube API server service in the Kubernetes cluster, which is very famous one or very important among of these, because it's responsible to means if we have means these services, like we have the etcd cluster, etcd service, we have replication controller, we have scheduler. Okay, and one more, two things are also coming up in the next, that is the uh, proxy, and the last is the your kubelet. So these are the things are means we have already covered these things. So means between communication these two, and between communication these, and between communication to this or this, so all the things are done by Cuban Cube API. So we can we can do it by the Cube API. So this is the means main responsibility. One office to means one service to another service communication via Cube API service. So this is actually a primary manage manage to communicate communicate to between these services, and also responsible for all the orchestration. Are all the orchestration are going on in the Kubernetes cluster. So it's also responsible for this, means to manage these services and its orchestration by via help of Kube API service, and also expose the API Kubernetes APIs externally to the externally expose the API of Kubernetes to the external user to manage the cluster, or talk to the cluster. Means how, if someone wants to communicate, means if we have the master and we have the worker node here, so how worker node tells or communicate to this, and how master will be communicate to this. It's the via exposing of Kube API cluster API services. So this is done by this, and also perform the management cluster as well as the maintaining to the cluster. So the Kube API services is very important. It is all means to is deploy only on the master node. So in master node we have Kube API service. In Kube API service, talk to means internally talk to the etcd and controller and scheduler. These are the things which means communicate API internally, and externally it's communicate to the kubelet part. And in kubelet we have the kube proxy as well. Okay, so now just we have left two components in the this thing. So let me tell you about these two things as well. So what we have the ship with what is that is the master ship, or we can say master node, and we have the worker node here, 1 and 2. Okay, so here we have etcd, we have scheduler, we have uh, the last one is uh, controller, means control your all the things. And in worker node we have means a kubelet, and one is the kube proxy. So kubelet is means to if someone wants to means talk to the master node, so the kubelet is responsible to talk to your kube API services here. Sorry, API services. So kubelet will tell to the API, or API call to the kubelet and communicate all the things throughout the master node. So if something need to be containerized here first, so scheduler will evaluate the things to means worker node, and it's tell to the kube API that you're on worker node 1, you can install that container. So API service to tell the kubelet, and kubelet go to the your worker node and run the container with the help of CRI. We container runtime engine, we have multiples one, means Docker, Rocket, all the things. So we can use it in all the CRI all be installed in your worker node as well. So and kubelet and kube proxy is also kubelet and kube proxy is also, sorry, kube proxy also installed in your worker node. So kubelet is means to talk to your, simply is to talk to the master node with the help of API. So what is the kube proxy here? So kube proxy is something like that. If you have two worker node, okay, worker node 1 and worker node 2. So you have means running a web server, which is depending on the Apache, or as well as means DB is required here. So you have the Apache on this web server, but your DB is here. So how the communication will be take place between two the nodes? So it's done by kube proxy. So communication between the nodes with the help of kube proxy. We can deploy all the means we can other it's actually like the networking part. Anything in the cluster will be the done anything will be in the cluster in networking take part of the via kube API. So if anything need to be communicate between the clusters, so it's have should be help with the help of kube proxy. We can deploy the Weave or another funnel and Calico. These are the also networking plugin to means we have deploy all one container here of funnel, one container of funnel. So they communicate to each other via this container service. So we can do the networking part via this means, but now in the general part of Kubernetes cluster, we have the kube proxy that is used for the main reason of between the cluster, between the worker node. We can use it communication between the kube proxy. So this is the main part. This is the main things we have in the Kubernetes cluster. Let me try it again for you. So we learn about the v master node. Okay, master node. We have the worker node. We have worker node. In master node we have etcd, we have scheduler, we have the last one is the controller, and one of the main services is the API, kube API service. So we can say the kube API. In worker node side we have means kubelet, which we can say it's a captain of the ship. Okay, captain of the your boat. This is a ship, or it's a small ship, or it's a large ship. So it's a kubelet we have in the kubelet. We have in other node we have another one. Very main part is the cryo, that is the docker. Here in use we used it, so same here we have you're using docker as a CLI. And main component is the kube proxy. We have to communicate between the nodes, so we have kube proxy here as well. Okay, so this is my overall Kubernetes architecture, which is a little bit defined by me. And if anything's need goes wrong, so let me know, please. I will be very happy to means to suggest me if anything goes wrong by me. Uh, I would like to be very thankful to watching this video, and I hope you got some idea about the Kubernetes architecture. If you are still having some problems, so let me know. So I will try it. I will communicate to you again and teach you in a well manner with the help of examples. So thank you guys. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you are like this one. Thanks. Bye bye.